Welcome to Worland, Wyoming. Population about 5,000, plus a couple of cows and stuff. Anyway, last night I was sitting around the old campfire, meaning my television, meaning my iPhone. And I was looking back on videos I've made about travel tips and how to get the most out of motorcycle travel, and here are the 10 things to avoid. And well, I realized I haven't avoided any of those things. I've made all of the same mistakes I made last time. So today on day 4, our journey to Chadron, Nebraska, we're going to talk about some of the mistakes that I've made on this trip and, I don't know, maybe ways to avoid them in the future. That'd be nice. Let's go. Stick around to the end of the video where, if I still have any energy left, I'm going to unpack everything I brought and see if I can trim it down by half. And maybe even box some stuff up and ship it home. That'd be special. It's probably not going to happen, if I'm being honest, but I'm definitely going to try to unpack everything I brought and put a really critical eye toward it and see where the mistakes I made happened. That should be fun. Follow me for more travel tips. Okay. The first thing I realized last night when I was sitting down at my desk editing video is that I promised myself last year I wouldn't run 2 cameras on my next trip. And here's why. Running 2 cameras is a total nightmare when you have to put it all together in post-production. So I'm sitting there last night editing, and every time I cut and have to start a new take, right, or whatever, a new scene, I have to sync both of those cameras up. And I have to do color correction on both cameras, and they're slightly different. And that is such a time suck that it makes editing video on the road a real chore, and it just takes so long. So I remembered that last night, and today I'm running with 1 camera on my helmet. There's no camera here. I'll put the camera over here every once in a while when I'm doing a stand-up shot or something, but I'm just going to run with 1 camera, and we're going to wing it, and we're going to see how it goes. As long as I can make decent quality video that tells a story, I don't think anyone cares about seeing my stupid mug. I know this doesn't apply to 99.5% of you, but if you are a motovlogger and you're on a long trip like this, consider just doing the 1 camera thing. I don't think anyone cares about 2 cameras. This is Thermopolis. And if there's one thing I know about Thermopolis, it has a really cool name. So I gotta see if I can bop in somewhere and get a Thermopolis sticker for my motorcycle because, well, what else do I have to do? Y'all, I'm over the moon. That souvenir shop down there was fantastic. Not only did I get my new Bigfoot research team sticker. Okay, that's nothing. Wait until you see this. Okay, first of all, I got myself a compass with a thermometer on it. I couldn't be more excited about this. Does it work? I hope it works. Yeah. And because the thermometer on my motorcycle isn't that great. And, well, that's just fantastic. But, now, you ready for this? Alright, look at this. Right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm right, right? Best t-shirt ever? Oh, score. Absolute score. The next thing I realized watching back the old videos was that 450-mile days, they're no fun. Especially at the beginning of the trip. I think I did my 450-mile day on, was it the 2nd day of this journey? And that didn't set the right tone. It was a long day in the saddle. It wasn't horrible, and if I had to, I'd do it again, and I might at some point on this trip, but not early on. In the first couple of days, you really want to ease yourself into it. You want to do like 300-mile days. Today, for example, I think today is like a 350-mile day, which is kind of, for me, I think probably about perfect. That's what I've come to realize. I can do a 500-mile day and be no worse for wear, kinda. But I just don't prefer 500-mile, 450-mile days. 350 miles is about my sweet spot. Gives me enough time to get into where I'm going before the sun sets, to go gather groceries, to relax, and not feel like I just need to go right to bed. I can edit a little video, I can watch TV, I can watch YouTube, I can read, whatever I want to do. Or, more importantly, I can do a little motorcycle maintenance. So, that's another mistake that I've repeated that I gotta learn not to repeat.
Another thing that I swore up and down that I'd do better on this trip, that I've completely failed at, is eating better. So far, my meals have consisted of gas station wraps, like chicken salad wraps or whatever. I had Subway. I've had more than my fair share of chocolate and peanut butter granola. There's a lot of stuff in there that I'm not particularly proud of. Tonight, I'm hoping that I'm going to find a nice little grocery store and I'm going to get some fruit and vegetables. No carbs, no sugars, except for natural sugars, I guess. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to just try to eat better tonight. See if I can do it for one night, and then we'll see what happens. I'm also consuming way more than my fair share of non-alcoholic beer. It's my little treat to myself at the end of the day, and well, if I can find the very low-calorie non-alcoholic beer, then maybe I'll get some, but otherwise I think I'm going to try to skip that tonight. Anyway, it's a struggle when you're on the road, because the last thing you want to do is, prepare a meal, or even really sit down at a restaurant, because who wants to sit down at a restaurant with people after you've been on the road all day? I don't know, not me. Anyway, that's just another thing that I keep messing up on this trip that I should have learned better, but I didn't.
So another mistake I found myself repeating on this trip is not getting off the beaten path. By that I mean, last year on my trip I had a very specific route that I was going on to get from Portland to Cape Cod. And I wouldn't deviate from that route, or I really tried not to anyway. And it became a bit of an obsession. On this trip, I'm riding Route 20, so obviously I want to stay on Route 20. However, I stopped a little while back to get a drink and some food, and GPS rerouted me 12 miles on this little road to catch up with Route 20 a little later. And at first I said, shit, I gotta turn around, this is ridiculous, I'm ruining the whole concept of the trip. And then I got about 2 minutes into this road and I said to myself, you know what, calm down a little bit. This is really cool. You're like on a road that you would never have gone on if it weren't for this little detour that GPS put you on. And now you're getting to see a different part of the country than you would if you were on the main road. And that's kind of neat. And so I do need to be a little bit more conscious about not worrying so much about staying specifically on Route 20 this whole trip. If it means I stray a little bit and go off of it a little bit, as long as the main concept is still there, that I rode Route 20 from Newport to Boston, then everything's going to be fine and I'll be happy with my little story. And at the same time, I get to see some stuff that I wouldn't have seen. I'm not saying that this is like, groundbreaking stuff to see, but I don't know, there's something really cool about it. Look at this shack over here that's fallen down. That's a cool little thing to see. Look at that house. Just in the middle of the farm. It's a farmhouse. I get it, but I'm a city boy. Leave me alone. Anyway, that's a mistake that I found myself making on this trip, that I've made on past trips, that I'm going to try to put to the side and not do anymore.
So before you slam me in the comments, I know this is too much stuff. This is the point of this little segment here. I'm just kind of laying out the stuff that I brought on this trip and what I might not take if I had left in the right mind, which apparently I did not. This is the bag that sits on the back seat, on the pillion seat, and these are the two dry bags that sit inside the panniers on either side of the bike. These are nice because I don't have to drag the whole pannier inside. I can just, pull these out and then do what I need to do, and then in the morning, pack them back up, slide them in, and I'm done. Anyway, let's go through real quick the sheer amount of crap that I brought, and we can decide together what I can throw in the garbage. I don't know. So this is bag number one, and this is problem number one. These are all my clothes, and that's way too much. I've got 2 pairs of jeans, probably 2 or 3 shirts. I don't even know what else is in here. That's gotta get trimmed down. This is my little underwear and whatever bag. I'm not sure I can trim that down much more. Okay, don't laugh. This is a second monitor for my computer. It makes editing video a whole lot easier. Do I need it? No, probably not. I'll tell you one thing I don't need. This is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I've been trying to read this book now for, I think it's going on 2 years. I've read it before, years and years and years ago. I decided I was gonna read it again. I can't get through it. It's not my thing. And then this is just a little bag of possibles, just little things that I need. Anyway, that's that bag. Now we get into some real stuff here. This is my toiletries bag. I need to cut this down by at least 2/3. It should be that big. I forgot my toothbrush. This is electronics camera stuff. This is power cords and stuff number 1. This is power cords and stuff number 2. And a mouse. Yeah, I do need a mouse. This is Mr. Happy. Comes with me everywhere I go. This is my laptop. Oh, this is the laptop case, but my laptop's over there. So a laptop and a monitor. I've got coffee. This I wouldn't leave the house without, I don't think. This is my Giant Loop 1-gallon fuel bag. So if I know that I'm going someplace and I need to bring some extra fuel, I just fill this up and strap it on somewhere. Works out great. And then here's the one thing that I don't know what I was thinking, but this is my full Aerostich suit in a dry bag. I brought it because I felt bad not wearing it, and I know that if it starts pouring out, I'm really gonna want this. I could have left this at home because I do have other rain gear. I brought it mostly for the novelty and because I had the room, and that's kind of the problem. You end up bringing stuff because you have the room. Anyway, that's that. This is my little camera bag. So the cool thing is when the dry bags are inside the panniers, there's a little space left on the top. And so I can stick my little camera bag on there. Basically stuff I need just for the day, I can leave out inside the pannier, but not inside the dry bag. Makes it a lot easier just to get to. And then this thing, this is a nightmare. This has a sweatshirt, a puffy jacket. It's got a Royal Enfield hat. It's got a neckerchief. It's got another set of rain gear. Oh, and my heated gear. And my heated gloves. And straps. And another pair of gloves. And the motorcycle tarp cover thing that I'm probably never going to use because motorcycles get wet, and you know what? I'm exhausted just talking about it.
If you like this video, here's a playlist with more from this trip. Also, this one's probably alright. And I'll catch you on the next one.